What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. It's time for another episode of the My Team journey. I apologize about the breaks. Life has been pretty darn hectic, but maybe next week or the week after or next year, who knows, we'll have some regular episodes. But no, seriously, we do need to get a move on because we have 23 races to get through this season. So I will get cracking eventually. Anyway, it's time for a new episode. We're heading to the Chinese Grand Prix this time, a circuit in which we've not raced on in F1 in quite a few years now, and it feels weird to be racing on it in career mode. I'm not gonna lie. In the past, it's been a circuit that's been strong for the player, so I have a feeling this should be a good race for us. Last episode did not go so well. Spoiler. Just go check it out. And you'll find out why. But yeah, if you're still watching, yeah, we had the failure last time out, so that makes 2 failures in a row. We need to hit the ground running in this episode because we're behind in the championship, in the drivers and the constructors. We've got a long season ahead of us, but we need to start making some inroads now, and we need to make this car better. But unfortunately, we don't have the resource points to really do anything sizable. So what I'm going to target from next episode is weight reduction. Ultimate weight reduction upgrade, and that'll go on in time for the Imola race. So thankfully, there's a massive break in between the next race and the race after. So yeah, we should have a pretty good car by then. We've got a major or an ultimate front downforce upgrade going on for that race as well. So yeah, nothing for this race in China. No one really moves up apart from Red Bull and Williams. It's only like a 1-week break between the last race and China. So yeah, not too much going on in the grand scheme of things. But I imagine the order is going to shake up a little bit heading into the next race, like I said, with all the massive upgrades on the way. So, here we go. Time for practice for the Chinese Grand Prix. Like I said, the car isn't in a great state at the moment. I think we're... Oh, hello. I think we're around about 8, 9, 10 tenths away from front-running pace. Maybe even more. Nico Rosberg, 2.4 seconds off the pace there on a set of mediums. Practice, I'm not going to lie, was a massive struggle. We actually struggled to pass a lot of the practice programs, which was not usual. That's a bit concerning. So maybe there's some issues with our car, with our setup. We were very slow in Bahrain, particularly in qualifying. So hopefully when the track rubbers in a little bit more, we'll be somewhat faster. We can only hope. Okay, so here we are on the track. Let's hopefully go out there and, well, put this car where it belongs to be. We got knocked down in Q1 in Bahrain. What did we get, like 18th, 19th, or something ridiculous like that? We were over a second away from Nico Rosberg. That cannot be the case today, but, yeah, we've not got off to an ideal start, we'll say that much. We have played around with the setup a little bit. Another problem with this as well, China, is I couldn't find a new or updated setup from the time trial leaderboards. It seems all the sweats don't really find this track relevant because, well, we don't go here for many things. So yeah, I mean, the setup looked fine that I got. I changed a couple of things and, well, it seems that we're still massively off the pace. You can see Daniel Ricciardo having a little go at us into the 3rd sector on our qualifying lap, no less. I don't know if he came out of the pit lane on this lap in particular, but he's ruined both of our laps. We're going to go again. This is the closure of said ruined lap. We're last place. We're slower than the Haas's, thanks to that. We come around again, very next time, and we've gained, or we're going to gain pretty much a second by virtue of actually going through there cleanly, which is nice. Last corner, we make up a little bit more. No, we don't make up time. That was a horrific last corner. The curve there at the last corner is actually quite tricky because it can unsettle the car like you saw, but it can also give you floor damage. So that's one to watch out for. We suffered a bit of floor damage over the course of practice, and I think the damage has come from that and not the Ricardo contact, but I could be wrong. Anyway, 5 minutes to go in Q1. We are in the danger zone, or very close to it. We're in the last safe position. We are safe by 0.04 of a second, but crucially, we're 1.7 seconds slower than our teammate Rosberg, which falls in line with the form we showed in Bahrain. We were 1.6 seconds slower than him there. So I think it's season 3. There's something going on with the AI. And what's even weirder is the AI, we're not running 110. Have a look at this. We are on 105. I lowered the difficulty to make it more fair for this race, and we're even slower than what we were last time. So there's one of either three things. The setup is wrong. I don't think the setup is a problem. There's either a problem with the mod that's slowing me down somehow, or 3, it's the AI. The AI are ridiculously too fast for some reason in Season 3, because this has come out of nowhere. It's one of those 3 things, but I think it's the latter 2. Interesting to note as well with the setup, I can now run 50% brake bias this season. That wasn't a thing previously, but now I can run that. So it's either my mod or the or the AI. I would really appreciate your help. So if you guys have any ideas on what's going wrong or how I can fix this, I'm all ears. It could also be that this is China and the AI aren't really calibrated here properly with career mode in mind, especially this deep into it, but it is strange. Anyway, another run done, and we got floor damage again. It could even be that, but I doubt it. We're kind of slow from the outset.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
So, yeah, lots to consider. But yeah, that looks to be a pretty major problem heading into this race. So the difficulty is locked in from qualifying. If I'm honest, I'm gonna lower the difficulty for the race. Even.
Could you try again?
No, go away. Watch. So I'm gonna change the difficulty for the race. It's absolutely ridiculous that we're racing AI, which are like 2 seconds a lot faster than us. Imagine if I left it on 110, we'd be like 4 seconds off the pace, or something ridiculous like that. It's really strange. It is really strange. I'll have a chat to Tom. He's pretty in the know about these things. But anyway, let's just get on with the race weekend at hand. We have had some weather intervene, and it's made things a little bit more competitive for us, at least in the first half of qualifying. We were somewhat in the ballpark with these guys, but now that it's fully dried up and everyone's putting in better times now, we're getting left for dead a little bit again. We're 8 tenths up, 9 tenths up, a second up on our previous best. The track is just a lot faster than what it was earlier, and the AI are absolutely flying at this point. I think some people are in the 26s, 27s at the moment. Hopefully we can make up even more time in Sector 3 here. This hairpin and some slow speed corners do feel a little bit understeery, maybe more so than usual. So maybe that's something to think about. Anyway, last corner, bit of a slight correction there, turned in too early, had to avoid the corner cut. Up to the line, we improve by 1.3 seconds. It's P12, which in the grand scheme of things is actually a great result. With our car pace, we should be way further down the order than that. But we're still 1.3, 1.4 seconds away from Rosberg's pace. So something is definitely amiss here, but I'll take the track position we've got. We're going to have free choice of tire for the race. Probably going to start on mediums. But yeah, many things to think about as we head into the start of this Chinese Grand Prix. Tiametmarduk in the mud, it seems. We've gone from, championship contenders. Arguably, we shouldn't have been there in the first place last season, but now we are genuine midfield runners. So, yeah, this is concerning. We'll be more competitive in the race, so I've got high hopes. Hopefully, we can bag some solid points. Wish me luck.
The Chinese Grand Prix then is upon us once more, a race that saw Michael Schumacher claim his final Formula One victory in 2006. as well as Red Bull's first with Sebastian Vettel in 2009. There's no doubt we've got plenty more drama to come here in Shanghai. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Leclerc, Rosberg, Gasly, and George Russell, Benjamin, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, and Stroll, Latifi, Vettel, Yuki Tsunoda, and Daniel Ticktum, Armstrong, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, so it's P11 then, and strategic pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix. It was because Ricciardo was a naughty boy in qualifying. Perhaps he ruined some other people's laps as well. But regardless, we'll take that. Because we can, and we have to, and that's as good as it's going to get. So, mediums to softs. We're going to finish the race on the soft. Hopefully, there's a safety car or something that helps us in the midway point of the race. English, do you have, Ben? Tire pressures? We're probably going to lower those a little bit on the front, and maybe 1 or 2 clicks on the rear. You don't want to take that down too much, otherwise you'll be having some issues. 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Chinese Grand Prix. Great start compared to George Russell there on the right-hand side. That is rough starting on the hard compound tires, and Ricciardo already in that straight line speed machine is ahead of us. We go around the outside heading into turn 1, inside for the left-hander at 2, and we might be able to get Pierre Gasly here. We squeeze him out very cheekily. And, yeah, we displaced him to P11. Here comes that absolute rocket ship in a straight line round the outside. Hopefully the two of us can work together and get a Constructors title for the co-op later tonight, 6 p.m, twitch.tv/Tiametmarduk. And if I've been a good YouTuber, this video will go out before co-op. Well, if it's late, then moving on. We have Ricciardo putting us under pressure now as we head into the middle sector. This is where we came together in practice or qualifying, I believe. And there we go. We come together again. I think Ricciardo might have some damage there on the right-hand side end plate. We'll get a replay here and see what happened. But I left plenty of space on the inside. Ricciardo's turned in too early, too shallow into the corner, came into my line and has given himself some very, very slight damage. I think he might be able to carry on and recover some positions in this race. But no, that's a major overreaction from Ricciardo. That level of damage, we've had it before, where it's not even lime green, I'd say, but he's elected to make an early pit stop, get off the soft compound tires onto the hards or the mediums maybe, and might see if he can stretch to the end, depending on what tire compound he's gone for. But, yeah, early days, we've been isolated from the race leaders thanks to that coming together with our fellow countrymen. And now we're under pressure from Pierre Gasly on the soft compound tyres. So we're pushing quite hard to make up the difference, to catch up to our teammate, but also to make a distance between us and the Alpine. It doesn't seem to be working at this stage, as we had a bit of a moment out of the Snell section, starting in Sector 3. And again here, a bit of a mistake there. The car is slightly unstable, thanks to us going for an aggressive 10-7 wing setup. Very close there, heading into turn 1. Gasly had half a chance to get up the inside there. Thankfully, he didn't squeeze his nose in. And again, you can see the rear end just starting to break traction a little bit through those long, medium speed corners. The default setup was 9-7 wings. A lot of people were running in time trial. But we're losing all of our time in the corners, I'd say, compared to the AI. So I had to increase the front wing to 10-7 just to make sure we're somewhat competitive against these guys. But it's strange, you know, it seems to be me, because Rosberg is absolutely fine in the corners, keeping up with his competitors. We've got an Alpine out, that is Esteban Ocon. It's not Pierre Gasly, it's Ocon. But no safety car, no VSC, crucially for the race leaders, who are all consequently actually boxing at this moment in time. So that would have really helped them. Thankfully, no interruption from the FIA, and we're going to have green flag running for the time being. We're now in P2 now, as all but one of the soft compound tyre runners are into the pits. Again, another moment out of the Snell section. I need to calm that down a little bit.
Hamilton behind. The gap behind us is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:48.6.
Okay, so another stop for Hamilton there. He's going to have to go onto another set of mediums, I'd imagine. Perez is in. He's gone onto the hard compound tyres. Stretched it quite far, and he's on the hard, so I think he might be going to the end of the Grand Prix. So some split strategies here from the AI. Anyone on hards, I'd imagine, is going to the end. People on mediums are going to have to stop again at this early stage. So, yeah, you can see Hamilton, he's actually caught us already, having already made a pit stop. So we're a pit stop down, essentially, on the race leaders. But we're going to see if we can hold up Hamilton or stay with him once he gets past us. Because we're essentially racing these guys now, given that we've all got one stop to go to the end of the Grand Prix. But defending from Hamilton, this is really helping out Bottas, who is not going to make another stop in this race. You can see this is the corner where we come unstuck a little bit. We're trying to get on the power as early as we can to maximize the advantage we have here on this straight. This is the one part of the circuit we're actually pretty decent. So we're trying to maximize our advantage, but still doesn't seem to make a difference with DRS for our rivals behind us. Hamilton gets through with the lead of the Grand Prix, but now it's just a case of trying to stay with him. As, yeah, we could maybe get a top 5 in this race, or top 6, 7. Those hard compound tyre runners are going to be pretty tough to beat. We're going to have to chase them down by the end of the Grand Prix, but it's just a case of whether we've got the pace.
Okay, there appears to be an issue. We're currently investigating.
Okay. That radio message is becoming all too familiar lately. I mean, surely, with the amount of failures we've had lately, we've had 2 terminal failures in the last 2 races as Bottas gets past us. Surely my luck isn't that bad that I'm going to get it 3 times in a row. It can't be. Impossible.
Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that.
3 times in a row! We have not finished a Grand Prix. We are out again with an engine failure. And this season goes from bad to worse. I think it might already be over.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
You know what happened, Jeff. You told me that the engine was cooked. We're out of the Grand Prix. Every time we get in a good position, or somewhat good position, this keeps happening.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Oh dear. That is a shambles. 3 DNFs in a row. 3 DNFs in a row. So, Bottas gets the win. Verstappen P2. Who's got 3rd? We'll have to get confirmation on that, but it looks like the 1 stop was supreme for those guys. Hamilton got 3rd in the end with a 2 stop. So, much faster in terms of the fastest up there. Rosberg only getting P9 there, so he's fallen back in the race. Not great points for the team, it seems, but Nico is the one carrying right now. I am just helpless. I'm defenseless. I can't finish Grand Prix with the equipment we have. We left Renault after that engine manufacturer essentially costing us the World Championship. We've gone to Mercedes in what I thought was going to be greener pastures, and it's been 100% failure rate so far. This has not been the start of the season that we wanted. This has been the worst start to a season I think I've probably ever had. But yeah, the pace was getting better. The pace was getting stronger on those mediums. We weren't strong at the start, but then we were getting into a rhythm. We were racing some of the race leaders. We were getting carried along, towed along with DRS. And then when it started to look okay, relative to people on 2 stops, the engine lets go. So, it's a real shame. With this one, I don't know where we would have finished. The pace wasn't great, but I think we would have been on for a better result than Rosberg, I'd say. That's for sure. But yeah, driver's standings, we're last. Have I ever been last place in the driver's standings in the career mode? Probably not. But that's where we find ourselves. Constructors, what are we saying? I mean, this is absolutely diabolical. Normally, it's me carrying the team, but it's my teammate Rosberg. Thankfully, I've signed him, and we've got some experience there. 5th in the Constructors somehow. Honestly, guys, I don't know what to say.
Bad luck today. That must be incredibly disappointing. It looked like you had a few mechanical hiccups during that race.
Yep, just a few. We'll have to investigate and find what issue it was this time.
What was your teammate's secret to success today?
Consistency, I suppose. Their car didn't blow up, so that's always a good help.
It must be incredibly frustrating to not make it to the end of a race due to car issues. What went wrong out there?
We have to investigate. Probably engine.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Thanks, Claire. Thank you very much. The rivalry is taking an absolute beating right now. I know a lot of people are probably going to say in the comments as well, now is the time to get rid of mechanical failures. But I say no. This is a natural part of F1. This is a natural part of the game. Thank you, Max, for that generous gift of 0 resource points. The AI get failures, so I think it only makes sense that we should get them too. We've been hilariously unlucky up until now. So I think surely by this point our luck should turn around. But now with the adversity we faced, I think it's going to be very, very tough to win the championship this season. Who knows? Never say never. We've got some big upgrades on the way for the next race. But we are going to have to take some grid penalties, given that we've already lost 2 components so far. Yikes. Welcome to the post-race Q&A, aka filling time to not spoil the video. I'm testing out my new camera, because I want to make a lot of videos with this, obviously, so hopefully it's okay, and if it's not, then this is all a learning exercise. Welcome to the portion of the video where we filling time to not spoil the result, aka us failing to finish. I did a little thingy on Instagram. So we're going to do a little Q&A. We're going to scroll through and we're going to see what you guys have asked me. You guys are probably expecting a Q&A on Instagram. Apologies about... I might answer some questions that I don't get to in the video. Let's see. F1 Ellie. First question. What do you want to be when you grow up? An F1 driver. I better do it quick because I'm already grown up. Did I like Greece? Yeah, it was really, really nice. I wish I would have seen a bit more of it. When is Arab coming back to the channel for a video? Whenever we want to do something. We should do a collab. Let me know what me and Arab should do for a collab. Mate, I'm looking for a new co-op teammate. How about that? Have I ever been mainly a pad racer? I was in F1 2010 before I had a wheel. Since then, I've been wheel only. When did I first get into F1? It would have been 2010, around the time when Mark Webber had his crash with Vettel at Turkey. Younes, when will you buy your first McLaren? Probably in the new year. The market is really crazy right now. Things are really expensive and it's very busy right now. So yeah, there's not a lot to choose from. I'm waiting for the right color. And yeah, there's very limited options available at the moment. I'm in no rush. Plus I want to do a few videos on my R8 before I get rid of it. So yeah. Engine failure again. Yes, someone got it right. What about starting a separate car vlogging channel? Maybe. I'd love to do that. I'm going to test over the winter to see if car videos work on the channel. Hopefully they do. I might do some track content, which I think would be really sick. So if it does poorly on the main channel, I'll start a separate channel for that. How much do I miss Australia? A little bit at times, mainly when the weather's crap here. Can you upload more My Team? If this continues, no. Do you work full-time content creation? Yes, yeah. All I do is making content, and the second part is what is your role in McLaren? I'm an ambassador for McLaren, so I step in and do certain events with them. Last weekend, I went to the studio and I did like a Gogglebox live reaction on Twitch, which was pretty cool. We want to do more brand activations and stuff, but it's been really tricky with like the whole global situation. I've not really been getting access to the drivers at races and whatever because they're in their own separate bubbles, so it's been a bit tricky. But yeah, I just do cool stuff with them, streaming content here and there. But yeah, hopefully we'll do more stuff in the future. Favorite NRL team? Canberra Raiders. I mean, I wear their hats in half my videos. What's the next race I'm going to? Abu Dhabi. I'm literally going tomorrow, which is why the content has been a little bit sparse, and it will be until I get back. I should have mentioned that at the start of this video, but that's why. Will I ever come back to Australia? Yeah, in the new year, hopefully. We'll see. Whenever they can bloody let me in. Who's winning the championship? Flip a coin. I'll say Max. It would be cool to see either driver win because I think they deserve it. Max for his first title might be one of the youngest, or if not the youngest, F1 driver to win ever, and Hamilton for a record-breaking 8 titles. Like there's good storylines on both. Will you brake check Jarno Opmeer? Yeah, I'll try to. I'll do another 100% race at Monaco in the next week or two, and we'll get our revenge. How tall are you? Not very. I'm under 6 foot. What time do you call this? Time to end the video, I'd say.